Hello, everyone, and welcome back again. Yes, today, in our lesson today, we are going to take a look at the comparatives again, yes, and modifying adjectives. As I always say, that English learning is like learning a city, is like learning London or New York. Yes, there are main streets, and of course there are side streets or narrow streets as well. So we have studied two or three presentations about comparatives, and of course we already studied the degrees of adjectives. Now it's time to take a look at the comparatives again in an advanced level. Yes, modifying superlatives. Okay, modifying superlative adjectives. Okay, welcome again. And let's go ahead. Okay, let's start with a GIF. What does it say? It says that he couldn't ride any faster than he could duck. Then he could duck, something like then he could bend. Okay, so faster, the fastest. Here, any faster, any comparative. Okay, right, any faster than he could duck. So let me read what I wrote about this GIF. I know John couldn't write any faster than that, but couldn't he write any better than that? Yes. Of course, he could write much better. This is the comparative modifying, but okay, much better, far better, or even better than that. Yes, I believe that. I think that he could write he could write much better than that. Okay. Now, trip 7, any comparative, okay? Any comparative. So you can think of all the comparative forms of adjectives, okay? Both the one syllable and more than one syllable adjectives. Any comparative in negative and questions of this expression. And this is the 10th step of comparative studies. Okay, I think we have got 7 more steps, 6 or 7 more steps. Okay. Now, dialogue 1, Muhsin cannot run any faster than this. Okay, Muhsin can't run any faster than he can do today. Can he work any harder than this? No, he can't work any harder. However, he can study English even better, much better, or far better. Yes, there is the adjective good, but the comparative form is better, the superlative form is the best. Okay. So we also need we need to modify the superlatives as well in this advanced level, in this harmony tree. Okay, let's go on. Can he write any faster than this? Can he write any faster than this? No, he cannot write any faster than this. However, nevertheless, but he can speak, yes, he can speak even more fluently, okay? Even more fluently, much more fluently one more, far more fluently. Okay. Now another give. What does it say? It's the best. Okay, it's the best I can do. It's the best I can do in these circumstances or under these circumstances. Okay, what does it inspire me? Let's see what it inspired me. I can't do any better than this means this is the best I can do. Okay, this is the best I can do. Both of them have the same meaning, same message. I can't do any better than this, or this is the best I can do. Now, dialogue 2, the image says, life is better in flip-flops. Yes, and this is an advertisement about flip-flops, kind of shoe. Yes, kind of shoes, pair of shoes. Okay, A, I am sorry, but I can't do any better than this. Or, I am sorry, but this is the best I can do. Can you do even better than this? Much better than this? Okay, can you do even better than this? No, I can't do, I can't do any better than this. Yes, in negative sentences. No, I can't do any better than this. And in questions. Okay, dialogue 3. Faruk can take some more photos. These are simple for you. If you have studied all those subjects up to now. Okay, Faruk can take some more photos. Can't Orhan drive any further anymore? Yeah, can't Orhan drive anymore? No, he can't drive any further. Means no, he can't drive any more. He's very tired and sleepy. Okay. No, he can't drive any further. No, he can't drive even further is also possible. No, yes, he can drive some more miles. He can drive some more miles is also said as a reply. Okay. Dialogue 4, I can take some more rice. I can take some more rice. Can you take any more pieces of meat? Yes, please. I can take some more pieces of meat. Isn't there any more turnip juice? Isn't there any more turnip juice? No, there isn't any more turnip juice. Now, from December the 2nd on, the days are getting longer and longer. Yes, the days are becoming. Yes, but getting is most common. The days are getting longer and longer naturally. The nights are getting shorter and shorter up to June the 2nd. Okay. Now, dialogue 5. No one and nothing is getting any younger. Yes, no one and nothing is getting any younger. On the contrary, everyone, everything is getting older and older. Can anything go any faster than time? Can anything go any faster than time? No, nothing can go any faster than time. Could you build a limitless wall with limited bricks? This is the proof of it, I think. Can you build a limitless wall with limited bricks? No, of course, we cannot build a limitless wall with limited bricks. What does the GIF say? GIF says, could you go a little faster? Yeah, could you go a little faster. So fastest. So we can also modify comparative with a little faster, a bit faster. Okay, dialogue 6, a brick is limited. Yes, we know that a brick is limited. Is a longest brick wall limited or limitless? Of course, if it is made up of limited bricks, it is also limited. So the longest wall is also limited. Now, Roman number 11, modifying superlatives. How? Like this, quite the superlative, quite the cheapest, for example, quite the fastest, much the superlative, much the fastest, the very fastest, the very superlative, by far the superlative. Okay, for example, the 10th question was quite the easiest one. What about the 20th question? But before answering the question, let's focus on the sentence. For example, can't we say that the 10th question was easy? Yes, this is at the beginner level. Okay? Yes, we studied adjectives and simple past tense at the beginner level in Harmony 1. The 10th question was easy. Yes, it is 100% true. But then in the intermediate level, we studied in Harmony 2, we studied the comparative forms of adjectives. How? Like this. For example, the 10th question was easier, okay? Easier than the 9th question. The 10th question was easier than the 9th question. Okay, but superlative, we can also say like this, the 10th question was the easiest. Okay, this is also possible. We learned it in the intermediate level. Now in Harmony 3, advanced level, let's familiarize our tongue with those modifying expressions. Okay, let's let's familiarize our tongue with saying them by repeating them again and again. Okay, how? Like this, the 10th question was quite the easiest one. Okay, or the 10th question was quite the most difficult one. Okay, quite the most for more than one syllable adjectives. Okay, what about the 20th question? The 20th question was quite the most difficult one. It was quite the most difficult question. Okay, yes, quite the superlative, much the superlative, the very superlative, by far the superlative. Okay. Okay, dialogue 7. This smartwatch is quite the most expensive. Is this laptop much the best? Yes, this laptop is much the best. Okay. Or let's remember again, let's remember the usage of much as a modifying comparative, okay? For example, this laptop is much better, okay? Much better than the others, okay? Than the second laptop. And now it's time to be able to use this laptop is much the best. This laptop is much the best. Okay, I think I think it's a summary. Let's read it. Okay, it's clear that it's about a cell phone, a smartphone, a mobile phone, a cellular phone. Okay. Now, a quality cell phone. A quality cell phone? Question mark. Most people enjoy using a quality cell phone. But they also recognize that cellular phones are a consumable good and will have to be replaced within a few years. Within is enough, of course. Let me delete in here. Okay. Within is enough and much better than in. Just in is also possible. Okay. Have to be replaced in a few years or within a few years. For this reason, people often do not purchase the most expensive cell phone when they purchase their mobile. Purchase, I think the pronunciation of the noun form. Purchase, is it the pronunciation of the verb form? Let me check it. Okay. Purchase or purchase?
Purchase.
Purchase, yes, okay. Okay, the most expensive cell phone when they purchase their mobile phone. Okay. Now, please focus our attention here and compare. Please compare 1 and 2. Sentence 1 and sentence 2. Sentence 1, I want to give my children much the best education that I can afford. Okay. The second one, I want to give my children a much better education than I can afford. Okay. Much the best education, a much better education. Okay. An even better education, a far better education. Okay. A much better education. Dialogue 8, I want to give my children the very best education I can afford. Isn't this by far the best ideal? Yes, I believe that this is by far the best ideal of our ideals or among our ideals. Dialogue 9, that was by far the greatest danger the economy had ever faced. Didn't they find the very most effective solution then? No, unfortunately, they didn't find the very most effective solution then. But it was the time, in fact, it was the time to find the very most effective solution that time. Okay. Now 10. That Neriman is by far the most patient nurse I've ever seen. Isn't she by far the most tactful one? Yes, she is by far the most tactful speaker. She is by far the most diplomatic speaker. Okay. 11. The second exam was much more difficult than the first one. We have studied this in the previous comparative study videos. Now, let's remember it. The second exam was much more, far more, even more, okay? Much more difficult than the first one. Was the third exam by far the most difficult one we had ever had? Yes, you are right. The third exam was by far the most difficult one we had ever had. Okay. Now, Roman number 12. I think it will be about restaurant and menu because the image says restaurant menu. Okay, less or more adjective then. Yes, this is usual. In fact, you know this. Yes. The food at restaurant Odakbaşı is more expensive than the food at Sofrabaşı. But isn't it less healthy than the food at Sofrabaşı? No, no. It isn't. It isn't less healthy than the food at Sofrabaşı. It's also healthy. It's okay. No problem. Okay. Yeah, this is normal for adjectives which are now we also need, as you see, we also need the adjective clauses. Yes, but we will study now in this harmony 3. Okay, in the following videos. Okay. Yes. Okay. Okay. Let's go. Now, isn't it true that computers can make? Isn't it true that computers can make more mistakes in 1 minute than 100 experts in 1 year? Yes, although they are very useful, sometimes they can be very harmful if we don't pay attention. Sorry, the page not found. Yes, they just say without a feeling, without emotion, sorry, the page not found. Okay. Okay, now Roman number 13. The least adjective of or in. Yes, Ayhan's project is the least expensive of the 4 projects. Whose project is the least complex? Meral's project is the least complex. Okay. Of or in the 4, in the group, in the team. Okay, dialogue 14 is about a wise thing. Of course, about modifying superlatives. Okay. Jefferson Kennedy said, "Man is still the most extraordinary computer of all." Yes, man is still the most extraordinary. The most extraordinary is also superlative. And most is also superlative, so superlative times superlative. Okay, man is still the most, and by saying the most, okay, it is, he wants to say that I think it's a fact. Yes, it's a fact that man is still the most extraordinary computer of all. What else did he say? Let's see what else he said. Jefferson Kennedy also said, our progress, development, proceeding, our progress as a nation can be no swifter, can be no faster than our progress in education. So it inspires that education is a must. We cannot think of life without education. We cannot think of an individual without education. Education is the, I remember why saying again, education is the twin brother or sister of an individual. Okay. The more fast, or we can write something like this, the more faster we are in education, the more faster we are in our progress. Yes, and someone can say you are right. The more, the more. Now it is clear that what we are talking about, the faster, the better. It is also possible to reply like this. Yes, you are right. The faster, the better. Okay. Now Roman number 16. Yes, 16. Okay, prefer doing something, verb ing, to doing another think. Okay, prefer verb ing to verb ing. I prefer walking on the country roads to driving because it's relaxing. Yeah, on the country roads, on the rural roads, not urban roads, but on the rural roads. Okay. Do you prefer walking to driving or driving to walking? Yes, mostly I prefer walking to driving. But when it is necessary, uh, when we need it very much, of course, I need, or all of us prefer driving to walking if there is necessity. Okay, would prefer, not ing, okay? Would prefer, it's just like would like. I would prefer to or not to verb one rather than. Now, rather than. Here, to is preposition, okay? To is preposition, so to verb ing, not verb one. No, not verb one. Prefer doing something to doing something. Here, would prefer to do something or not to do something rather than verb one. Okay. Although there is would prefer to in the after rather than, we don't use to. For example, I would prefer to explain everything. I would prefer I would prefer to explain everything rather than remain silent. What would you prefer to do, but not to do? To do or not to do, I think is better. What would you prefer to do or not to do? Okay. I prefer reading I prefer reading. Yes, I would prefer, sorry. What would you prefer? I would prefer reading stories rather than, sorry, sorry again. I would prefer to read, yeah, to read stories rather than read poems. Okay. Now here's a cartoon. Would you examine this paper with me? Would you examine this paper with me? I would prefer not to. I would prefer not to examine it with you now because I am very busy with a project. Okay, with an urgent project. Okay, now after would like to do now, would rather do, plain form of, base form of the verb, okay? No ing, no to, okay. I would rather do something, for example. I would rather verb one and would rather not verb one. Then, now just then, okay? Then verb one. 17a, I would rather learn than ignore the facts, okay? Wouldn't you rather give attention to the facts? Yes, I would rather give attention. I would rather give attention to the facts, or no, I would rather not. I would rather not give attention to the facts. Okay. Now guarantee best quality. Okay, they guarantee that it is the best quality. Okay, would sooner is just like would rather. Is it clear? Would sooner verb one again than verb one. Just then. In the first place, I would sooner develop human qualities than acquire business skills. Okay. What would you sooner do in the first place? In the first place, I would sooner develop, I would sooner try to develop business skills than develop human good qualities. Yeah, also possible. Or I would rather. In the first place, I would rather develop human qualities than acquire business skills. Okay. Now, quiz time. Please choose the correct alternative. Question 1, and let's do it with the key to save time. Okay. Yes, question 1. Blank people in the world get their news of the world on the internet. People in the world. So if we use all of the people, we should use the. Much is for uncountable. People is countable. Most of, again, we use the, okay. Neither of, again, neither of the, okay. So for the rest of the four alternatives, we need the, but most people is enough, okay. We don't use the. Most people in the world get their news of the world on the internet nowadays, in these days, on these days. Okay. Okay, it's question 2. You can read blank of those books as they are blank very useful. So you can read either of those books as they are both very useful. Yes, positive sentence. So, for example, let's do it with A. You can read both of those books. Yes, this is possible. You can read both of those books. They are neither, but neither is wrong. Okay, so C is the true answer. 3. I don't advise you blank of the four fonts as they are blank in poor quality. Okay, so true answer, I don't advise you none of the four, they are more than 2. Okay, none of the four fonts as they are all in poor quality. I don't advise you. So we cannot start with both because they are more than 4. Neither is, again, for 2 things. Yes, okay. The rest are wrong. Incorrect. A is correct answer. Alternative. 4. Levent turned down. Levent turned down, didn't accept. Levent turned down the offer on grounds of health, but I think there were blank reasons behind his decision. There were some other reasons behind his decision. Okay, we cannot use another, for example, for singular. It says there were some other reasons. And if we choose another, reason must be singular. Another reason, no S. So B is true. We need blank equipment for the decoration of the office. We need equipment is uncountable. Yes, equipment. So we need a lot of equipment for the decoration of the office. So a few, a number of, or many are wrong. A lot of equipment. Okay, vocabulary building time. Now take over. Yeah, take the control. Take the control of a place. Take over as a phrasal verb, get control of a company by buying most of its shares, the equal parts into which one ownership of the company is divided. Start doing a job or being responsible for something that another person did or had responsible for before. Yes, start doing a job also means taking the responsibility, having the responsibility of that job, taking over that job. Makeover, takeover, makeover. Makeover means a set of changes that are intended to make a person or place more attractive. Makeover. Let's see them in example sentences. Ufuk needs to take over the company. Do you think he will receive a makeover if he takes over the company? Yes, I think he will receive a makeover. Some changes, a set of changes that are intended to make a personal place more attractive. An umbrella-shaped body without backbone. Is it possible? An umbrella-shaped body and without backbone. It doesn't have a backbone. Okay, jellyfish, yes, jellyfish is mindless and spineless. It's only a consumer. What happens if it takes over the sea life? So if it takes over the sea life, there will be no production. There will always be consumption. Maybe in the end, they will consume each other. But of course, maybe, of course, it is certain that there is no doubt that they are absolutely useful for the balance, for the ecology, okay, for the balance of the ecological life. Okay. Now, can you send me your email address, please? Or will you send me? We also use will, as you know, for polite requests. Will you send me your email address, please? Or is it all right? Is it all right? Is it all right that you send me your email address? Yes. It takes sincerity to be modest. Yes, everything requires, needs, wants sincerity. Yeah, sincerity, I think, is always in the center of everything, every field of life. Yes. Number one, what do you need to be humble, to be modest? Yes, I need sincerity to be humble or to be modest. What is necessary to be modest? Sincerity, again, is necessary to be modest. What is needed? What is required? Passive, to be modest. Sincerity is needed. Sincerity is required to be modest. What does it take to be modest? Modest. It takes sincerity to be modest. Yes. Okay, move on to. Move on means continue. Move on to means while continuing, change into another phase, another stage, another position or state. Okay. Thank you for giving sufficient explanations about education and training. If you go on to move on to talk about economics, what can you say? Yes. If I go on to, okay, let me go on to talk about economics, and it is my opinion that economics is very useful, but it really requires a special training. Okay. Now, specializing, yes, the dictionary says that specializing means devote oneself to a particular profession or field of study. Mark specializes in business news. Who specializes in sports also means who is an expert in sports, okay? Yes. Sebastian specializes in sports. That is, I mean, Sebastian is an expert in sports. Yes, this is Sebastian, for example. I am an expert. What does it also mean? I am an expert also means I specialize in sports. What about you? For example, let's take a look at the GIF on the right. Let me think about it. Yes, this is a beautiful expression. Let me think about it. I'll think about it later. Okay, let me not answer it now. I have to. I have to think about it. I'll think about it. Let me think about it. And then answer your question. Okay, thank you very much. I hope it was useful. And see you next time.